The Company of Wolves is the first horror film of Neil Jordan, who has directed such films as Interview with the Vampire and The Crying Game. However, not a lot of people seem to talk about this one, so I thought, why not give it a little more love? First is plot. What else is new? Anyway, the plot of this film revolves around a shy little girl named Rosaline who dreams of living in an enchanting world during the 18th century. However, when the dream becomes a reality, the line between fact and fiction vanishes, giving entry to savage wolves who disguise themselves as friendly strangers. Now, as you can probably tell, this is a revision of the classic fairy tale story, Little Red Riding Hood. However, as you watch the film, you might also get some Alice in Wonderland vibes as well. For a revised R-rated upgrade, Neil Jordan did his best with the plot, but I can't help but notice it sort of goes all over the place and has some inconsistencies. This might be a problem for some people, but if you're a sucker for the classic fairy tales like I am, then you'll probably find something admirable about it. I give plot a C. Next is acting. The acting for the most part is alright, not exactly on the same levels as Scarface or The Exorcist. There were times when it was either over the top in the most hilarious way possible, or subtle in the most nonchalant way possible. However, my two imaginary Oscars have to go to Angela Lansbury, who plays Granny, and Micah Burgess, or Burgess. Sorry if I'm saying that name wrong. Who plays the huntsman. Both of these characters made the film extremely entertaining to watch. Angela does a good job of playing a realistic and very protective granny, and you can definitely tell the character cares about Rosaline, and I think all of that has to do with the performance. And Micah does an incredible job at making the huntsman both terrifying and badass at the same time. I would even go as far as to say his performance is almost as good as Fear's from the Haunting Hour episode Fear Never Knocks. Given that these two are one of the highlights of this film, I gave acting a B-. Finally, directing. Neil Jordan, for his first horror debut, did a fairly good job. You don't see a lot of horror fairy tale films nowadays. And if you do, they're usually not very good. So it's refreshing to see one, especially from someone so prolific. This film has amazing camera work. Okay, I wouldn't call it amazing, but pretty good camera work. It actually does feel like a classic fairy tale all throughout the 95-minute runtime. And that's really impressive. Although there are some silly moments in the film which may put off some viewers, but keep in mind, this is a revised fairy tale. There's going to be some silly moments. Also, it's important to suspend as much disbelief as you can in order to enjoy these kinds of films. However, there is one scene that was so ridiculous that I couldn't help but laugh. I don't want to say much since I don't want to spoil anything, but it's at the end of a flashback. But overall, I'm giving directing a C+. Overall, The Company of Wolves is a great watch for anyone who wants to revisit their favorite fairy tale, but also wants a little more edge to them. Watching this brings back the feeling of having your parents read you your favorite fairy tale before bed, but then worrying that the monsters from said fairy tale are hiding under your bed and waiting for you to check under there, licking their lips, thirsty for blood. This may not be the scariest watch, and it may be inconsistent at times, but it's still worth a watch if you want something both you and your inner child will enjoy. I give The Company of Wolves a B. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.